Let's make this podcast great again. Damn. I missed the intro. I missed the timing. And that is one of the tip of Trump. Timing. Timing. Always do the things in the right time. I missed the intro.
Downloading the mind.
Welcome, my friend, to the master. Oh, I am a little bit messy today. Okay. Welcome to the Mastermind Podcast, episode 542. My name is Dr. Derek Israel. I'm a clinical psychologist, entrepreneur, and also I download minds and share it with the world. And I have been doing this in this podcast in a mini series that I called Downloading the Mind. Welcome. And I download already the mind of Elon Musk. You can search that on my YouTube channel, Dr. Derek Israel. I download Jeff Bezos, Tony Montana, Vladimir Putin, Tony Robbins, and today, oh my gotchi, woo, it's a huge mind, and I was struggling, man, when I should do this episode because I already downloaded Trump's mind. I have been downloading his mind like for the last 7-8 years, easy, like studying him closely and understanding his paradigms and applying teachings of him in my life. And so I was ready like since day one. But I was saying maybe in 2024, maybe in another moment, but why not now? Let's just download one of a hell of a mind that definitely has impact the history and the story and the direction of humanity. And I believe transcending his politics, transcending his personality, transcending his business, transcending his how can I say, his controversial nature, just focusing on what makes Trump Trump. Let's focus on that without morality. Let's focus on that without judgment. And let's see what we can learn about this top shark. All right, because he's a big shark. You hate it or you love it. If we are living in an ocean, you are probably not as big as Trump. Probably. Maybe if you are, I don't know, Vladimir Putin or something like that, something very big also, well, but probably you are leader, right? So let's go with 10 notes, and I have a bonus. What? Yes, and that bonus is, let me tell you about that bonus. I am not selling you, but let me tell you, that bonus is something that, it will transcend his psychology, and you will be able to apply that teaching to your business like any other of these other notes that I will be discussing, the other 10 that I will be discussing. The bonus one is, oh my gotcha, the most pragmatic, I will say, evergreen in these modern times. So stay to the end. So let's go with the first node of Donald Trump. And that is that you need, and before I go, let me tell you that I have been downloading Trump's mind mostly by watching his, a lot of his content and videos, but mostly what I have done is read almost all of his books. And that is a direct reflection of his psyche. Because even if he didn't write the book, maybe he just say, "Oh, yeah, what? He's a he's a ghost writer." They wrote him those books. Even that is his ideas. So for me, reading books is the best way that I can take the algorithm of a mind and bring it here to this reality. So let's go. First, you need to think big. And he has a book that is called Think Big and Kick Ass. So he says in one of his books, if you're gonna think at all, it's better than to think big. What sense it makes to think little if you are self-sabotaging your whole process? If you're gonna think, and let me tell you, you have an ego, You have a personality. You have millions of thoughts every day. You are thinking every day. So why then can you don't choose to think like Trump and to think big? He didn't run for a small office. He think it big. He run for office. He run for president. He didn't build a small apartment building. No, he built Trump Tower. It's a big tower. Same with the casinos. Same with the books. He didn't write just a book. No, he wrote or he published under his name The Art of a Deal. Big stuff. He didn't just did a TV show. He did the appendix, something that was number one. So everything that he do, even his statements in his speech, are going to be big, because big is not only a preference of height. Big is a lifestyle. To be big is a modus operandi. To be big is a spiritual determination that he already is operating big. Every time he's gonna die as Julius Caesar. If you read the book, I think it was, the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, there's one law that is like be dramatic or something like that. I don't remember exactly the law. Or to be a showman. They want to do the shows. They want to do the drama. He said that Julius Caesar, he died big. When he died, he did like a line, like it's like a novel, like, how can you betray your king? Something like that. I don't remember. But you get the message. Is you gonna do something, even to speak, even to die, die big. If you're gonna do a business, do it big. If you're gonna do an art, a book, a paint, a sex, you're gonna have sex, do it big. Or do you think that Donald Trump approached the bet differently than he approached to life and business and politics? No, he approached the same. I haven't been in bed with Trump, right? But I can assume, if as I understand that sexuality is just a reflection of the holisticity and integrity of a human being, I can assume that it will be similar to other components of the system, of the Trump system, right? As his business, politics, personality. So he will be the same. He will be intensive and he will go big. So go big if you want to be like Trump. The second note is that there's no bad marketing. And remember, man, this idea, I was reading it in one of his books. I think it was The Art of a Deal. And I was in India with a very little man in front of me in a bar. We were both seeing our eyes. This is a true story, folks. We are both looking at each other without talking, because he didn't understand in English, and he didn't understand. He didn't understand English, right? And I didn't understand his native language. So we were both in a bar in India, and I was reading this idea, and he was like looking like me, like this, and I was like, like a confrontation, but nothing happened. Crazy story, huh? So I remember this idea, and it's that there's no bad marketing, man. Even if you mess up and you say something that you didn't have to say, like something not political correct, you will be all over the media. And you may say, yeah, and that is damaging your reputation, Derek. Bad marketing, not necessarily. You are getting eyeballs, you are getting noise, your brand is being traffic is driving to your websites, to your business. People are hearing about you. That is just marketing. Now, there it will be better if you have a positive marketing, right? But if you have a negative kind of marketing, at least you have attention. Now, how you respond to that, that is where the dexterity of the marketer comes around. And Trump has been a master in navigating bad marketing and trying to overcome that. Like, for example, if you if you watch of his one of his like one woman told him, oh, you are disrespecting women, saying that they are a pig and something like that. There's something that is a crazy bad marketing, right? If the whole world is watching that and you have a very determined woman accusing you of something like that, most of us will be like, okay, we are screwed, man. We are screwed, right? But Trump, he said, no, only, I don't know who he said. It's like another woman. Only that woman, I say she was a pig. And everyone laughed. Like, it is crazy. Just look that video, search that video on YouTube if you haven't watched it. It's like he broke the pattern, the vibrational pattern of conflict to humor, like that, like a Matrix. Like he slipped away the bullets, and he didn't only slip it away. He also reinverted the whole situation to be a humorous one. And when you are laughing, man, you are vibrating high. And when you are vibrating high, you're producing dopamine and you are associating that object with happiness. So people that used to hate Trump in maybe in that conference that situation happened, maybe they like it after that because they were laughing. They were associating him with laugh, with how, this guy is funny. What the heck? Unpredictability, like he's unpredictable, like So yeah, so there's no bad marketing. It is what you do with the marketing that you have. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to go for bad marketing on purpose. But that means that even if you make an accident or something is wrong with marketing and the mass media and the collective perception of you, man, you can be like Trump and you can re-engineer the whole stuff to make it to your favor. Now, that is an art. I cannot explain exactly how you will do it. That is kind of an art, a talent, something that you like a skill, but is thinking like Trump. Trump do this every time. Just notice. Just notice. Notice how he will transform the whole picture that we have from him right now in 2022 about how he got out of the elections in 2020. He's going to recontextualize the whole thing and he's going to do another massive propaganda. I don't know if he's going to win or not, but I just want to illustrate the point. Bad marketing is only bad if you let it to be bad. How can you transform it? That is the question. The next point is that you need to be uh, lethal, a lethal sword for your enemies. And this is a very, so in this, oh man, I need to put my computer to charge. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. This stuff happened. Okay, so he have it in one of his book. He says if you're gonna have an enemy, make sure that you hit him hard. And let me tell you, this is an egoic thought. And mostly when you are downloading Donald Trump mind, you're gonna be downloading a very strong ego. And I just want to make the warning because in personal development, we don't want only to actualize our ego. We want to actualize also our spirit and the whole consciousness. So be very careful with some of these nodes because some of them are very ego based and they can be beneficial for you if you master them in a spiritual way. But if you go and get attached to these things, well, you're going to have a very weird and egoic life. But, anyways, you need to smash your enemies, man. That is part of being Trump. If you are an enemy of Trump, you know that you are up to a battle. Now, you may win the battle, sure, right? He's not immortal, but you are into a battle. You are not going to be, having fun in the ring with Trump if you are his enemy. Just a good metaphor or analogy is a better word. Analogy or comparison will be Brock Lesnar in the WWE. Have you ever seen Brock Lesnar fighting in the WWE wrestling? Well, he yes, it's fake, right? Because wrestling is kind of determined, but Brock Lesnar he do it very hard. And most wrestlers, if you ask John Cena, Randy Orton, they will tell you whenever you go to fight Brock Lesnar, you know that you are going to fight. Yes, maybe I know that I will win or he will win, but during the process, you will get smashed. Like those, some of the punches are for real, of the elbows are for real, some of his suplex are for real. If not, just go and watch Brock Lesnar wrestling. So Donald Trump is like that. If you're going to go to a war with him, you're going to a war with him. And you need to be willing to crush him or you're going to get crushed. So I want you to understand, for your enemies in your life, maybe the competitors in your business, they need to know that if they go in war with you, they are going to war with you. It's not just a battle. It's not just a fight of water balls or water. How do I say that? It's like a water balloons. I don't know. In Puerto Rico, we used to do it. I don't know if that is a thing. Like we used to fill balloons with water and smash it in the other, each other's face. Uh, so you're not going to a to that type of fight with Trump, neither with you. If someone wants to fight you, maybe in a legal case, man, go with all, because now they disrespected you. They didn't only sue you, they disrespected you. So maybe let's say that you have the rights and you are good, and they are suing you because they are very egoic. Well, you can go back after them. Like you can hunt them legally afterwards. Like, okay, you sue me, I will win, and then I will sue you back. So that is a way of imposing will over enemies in a way that you determine who is winning every time, who is the alpha, who is in the top of the hierarchy. So now I told you this is very egoic. This is just a mindset. Please don't download this purely. You need to decentralize this idea to function better, right? And to understand that the real enemy is always your own ego, and that everything that is happening in your external world is only a reflection of your internal world. And if you do that, maybe this mindset will give you some advantage, because at the end of the day, also, spirituality is competition. We are entities competing with each other. We know that in an absolute love. But if you go straight with this node and use it purely like that, ew, no, 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 don't do that, man. Be more advanced. Remember, we are talking about Trump. Trump, he's the old school. He's old school. He has his age. He has his wisdom. But we are in a new generation now that we are more decentralized in consciousness. So be careful. Anyways, let's go to the next point. Is that you need to put your name first. You need to put your name first. What that means? Well, everything must be called Trump. Trump Organization, Trump Tower, Trump Casino, Trump, 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 Trump. Even his social media, Truth. I was surprised he didn't put it Trump, but he put it Truth with a T that is very similar to the Trump, just to make the association. Just notice. And when you ask him, he will say, yeah, man, put your name, because that is your personal brand. And everything is interconnected, and everyone will know your name and also will know your product and also will know your service, and you are building that brand, Trump, and you can transfer that brand from business to politics and from politics to business. And that interesting, he said in one of his conferences that I was studying, a private conference that is called 10X with Grant Cardone, 2022 10X. He said, but when you transfer your brand from business to politics, something changed. Something is different. He didn't specify too much. That is a thing that I have been thinking. But yeah, it's like he said, you divide half of the public right there. Because in politics, it's a binary game. It's a panda game, right? White or black. Democrats, Republicans, blah, 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 blah. The left or the right. So when you go from business to politics, you divide the public as well very quickly. So your brand changes. But also that brand that is called Trump in business, notice how he can drag that brand to politics, and it's Trump also. The brand, not only the person, the brand, and he can be successful in both and have synergistic interconnections and dynamisms or dynamics between both. The business brand and the political brand, just because all it is called Trump, because he's locking his energy, his commercial and political drive, he's arresting that in one symbol, one icon, Trump. Notice that is a hearing. You hear that, right? It's a sound, Trump, but it's also an image. You can see the name, Trump. So it's in one image, in one sound, he's concentrating force and power, obviously driving business and political results. So how can you do this with your own stuff? So many entrepreneurs have problems naming this product, naming this service. Name it exactly as your name. Put everything with your name. You know, that is a good strategy. I do it mostly. This podcast is not the registered podcast, but I don't know why I didn't do that, right? But hey, always put your name first. So let's go to the next one. I hope that you are finding value here. Remember that I have a reproduction list in which you can watch every episode in YouTube or in Spotify also. Everything in English. So the next note is that you need to love what you do. He's an old man and he's pretty energetic. Do you think so? He has a lot of stamina. And if you ask Trump why you have so much stamina, he will say, because I love what I do. And when you are connected with love, you are connected with a perpetual motion device. I have a podcast that is called You Are the Perpetual Motion Machine in my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. But when you are perpetually moved, maybe you are moving forever, and there is certain psychological nucleus or vortices that you can access in order to move forever. I have been investigating this for a long time. In that podcast, I teach you more about it. In the podcast title, You Are the Perpetual Motion Machine. So one of the nucleus that you can access in your mind to move forever, to have infinite energy, is love. It's obvious, right? So obvious. Yeah, it's love. So Donald Trump, hey, don't get him wrong. That guy loves. Now you may say, but he doesn't love metaphysically, like in a universal, all conscious kind of love. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Probably not. But he can love at least as an ego can love. And hey, a lot of people don't even can do that. So he loves. So he know what he loves. He has his values, and he feels that every time that he's waking up, doing his business, doing big deals, because he says, the doing a big deal is an art form, and that is my art form. Now he discovered politics, and maybe he will rechange that to politics and art and deals. But he always loved what he do. He loved that. And by that love, he can continue moving forever. Like maybe he will die someday, right? He will die probably someday. Um, but until that day, he will be driving, drive it into something. You may agree with that or not, but he's driving. Are you driving? Are you driving like that? Let me tell you, most of the days you feel like kind of, passing the day. Trump never, never. You will never see a debate of, a political debate with him low energy. Never. He's always the more energetic. Always. Why is that? He loves what he do. If you see any interview, any episode, every video of him, he's always like that. Always like in the top of his game. Why is that? He's loving what he's doing. And when you are loving what you are doing, you can move forever. So my question for you, my friend, is how you can love more what you do or do more what you love. And you will be more like Trump. The next point is that is business, or this is a more creative. I was more creative with this one. So this one will be, it will demand more power of your mental software to download. And is that business or politics? Why not both? And this is a very powerful note because most people, they don't even have the note of business and they don't even have the note of politics, right? Most people, yes, they are political animals and commercial animals. Yes, they buy, they sell, they vote, they want to dominate others politically and in power dynamics. Yes, yes, yes. But that doesn't mean that they have a strong vortex or pattern, or there's a name for that. Um, attractor pattern. Okay, they don't, that doesn't mean that they have a very powerful attractor pattern in the system of his psyche, in their consciousness, that is pulsating business ideas and pulsating and expanding political ideas in a way that it is relentless and that you need to do it. Those vortices of mind, those nucleus of consciousness with those patterns of energy and experience only come from the entrepreneurs, right? And the politicians, that we are not the majority, right? Most people doesn't have those. Now, if you have the privilege to have one of those nucleus there in your psyche, most of us will only have one. Maybe you're a businessman or woman and you are very driven, but politics, you are like, oh, no, 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 no. No, that is not for me. I will not get corrupted, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe you are in the other end. Maybe you're a politician and you are like, yes, I'm a politician, but business, forget it, man. I am not about into money. I don't want to get corrupt. The same. I don't want to get corrupt. I'm here for the people, for helping the people. I don't care about clients. I care about uh, you know, uh, how do can I say, civilians. I care about human rights. So you maybe have only one, but this point, and this is a very sophisticated and powerful node, is that business or politics, why not both? Why, as Trump, can you just do a conjunction, a symbiosis, a synergistic singularity of B and P, business and politics? Oh my God. And when you do this, then you transcend to diverse spheres of power in the world. And not power in a bad sense, but power as a capacity to influence. Just watch my podcast titled "Political Power." Derek Israel, political power. How it's called? I think it's "Cultivate Your Political Power" in my YouTube channel for more information about it. But yeah, Trump merged politics and business. You may say that is not right. You may say that is a genius move. I don't know what is your opinion, and I will not give mine. What I will just tell you is that this is something that can be done. And if you do that, you will be impacting the history of the world more powerfully. So the next point is that you need to speak your truth always. You know how many people say that Trump is the most honest man in the world? Now you can say he's a jackass and he's dumb. Yes, and he's an arrogant, narcissistic. Oh my gosh. You can say all of that. Maybe true. But what you cannot say is that guy will not tell what he thinks in your face. And that is admirable because that reflects integrity. And you may say, what? Integrity? And I will say, yes, because integrity is how you behave according to your values. And he's behaving according to him. You may you may agree or not, but he's acting according to his values. Very similar to Vladimir Putin when I download his mind. It's very difficult to do this job because these guys are so controversial. but this is the real truth of their psyche. They are acting according to their values. And one of the values of Trump is to be honest and to say what he thinks in your face. And he will do that. Now, how many times you do that? How many times you tell your boss what you think? How many times do you follow your integrity and you are honest? Or are you political correct every time? You know, I am not saying now that you need to download this note and become like a crazy, you know, talking bad to people just for the fun of it. I'm just saying, hey, you can learn this from Trump. You can become more integrous with your own values. Maybe you may differ from his. That's good. All right. But with your own values, just get aligned and speak your truth and face the consequences. That is to be an adult and to transcend the Peter Pan complex of always being a kiddo, not growing up. The next note is that you need to show up with your best energy always. But the most important thing is to show up. In one of his books, he tell that he was in an economical crisis, and the banks were trying to charge him, and he didn't have the money to pay them, and he was a little bit of under stress. And one day, he knew that a specific shark of the banks was about to get him, and this guy was killing every colleague of Trump, killing them in the crisis, in the economical crisis, killing their businesses. And Trump one day was invited to a dinner or something like that, and he was kind of, I don't know if to go because I feel a little bit low energy. And something said to him, just go, just show up. And he showed up, and in that dinner he met the shark, the bank shark, and surprisingly, they became friends. And the bank shark that was about to get him, like gave him some privilege, and he was out of the crisis, and everything worked out fine. And he said, reflecting back, if I didn't show up that day, my story will be so different. What can we learn from this? Well, how many times you don't feel like showing up and you do it anyways? That is a secret, man. That's something that you must continue doing, showing up. And the times that you don't do it, stop it and show up. Just show up. Just showing up is 60 or 70% of the effort and 70% of the result. Like once you start going into the weights, once you start going in the gym, you can go. It's starting out, right? Like the laziness and the resistance. Well, just show up. Remember always this about Trump. In the times when you don't want to do the thing, if you do it, maybe a miracle is waiting for you. The next note is that you need to talk your way in and out of places. You need to talk your way in and out of places. Trump is always talking, 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 talking. Even when bad press is trying to get him, he's talking, 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 talking. By talking, he get into places. He got in by talking to politics. He became president. By talking, also he got out. You know, he got impeached by talking, by talking, by talking. In his worst moments, he's talking. In his best moment, he's talking. He got banned from Twitter, right? Now he opened his own platform and he began talking. Like it's like you try to shut up Trump, and like a mouth will appear in his forehead and keep talking. And you may say that is not a good thing. Well, it depends. For him, it's good for his business and his politics. Is driving attention. Like if you have Twitter, you know that you need to talk. You need to tweet if you want traffic, if you want fame, if you want to have followers, you need to talk. You need to talk in the podcast. You cannot do a podcast. Do you will watch the whole podcast if I am just like this in the podcast? just in silent, 1 hour. No. You know why are you still watching? Because I'm talking, 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 talking. Yes, I am not just talking. I'm talking about something that interests you. Maybe you are interested in criticizing or being like Trump. Or maybe you just like the analysis, the psychological deconstruction. But if I just stop talking, you go away. That is in life also. You just keep talking, man. In your marriage, keep talking, 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 talking with your wife, talking with your husband, talking, talking, talking with your kids, talk, 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 talk with your business. Oh my God, this is the best business in the world. Oh, do the stories, talk, 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 do a live in Facebook, oh, talk, 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 just talk, man. Just write, write, talk, 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 man. There's a good book that is called how is you know where I'm dead when I stop talking, something like that. Or I've stopped talking. No, I think is I will stop talking when I'm dead. It's a very good book about marketing. Just read that one. But yeah, never stop talking, man. Never dropped the mic. And the final point, but remember that I have a bonus for you. The final point is that you need to go to the point, to the heart, and to the money. In things in life, you need to go to the point, to the heart, and to the money. What that means, you need to be direct. Trump will not make make you waste your time. He will not add extra words. He will talk like if he was talking to a 3 years old, direct. Let's make let's make America great again. That's it. You vote Trump. It's almost like telegraphical. That is the name of this type of language. It's almost like primitive language. Just notice. And that is his thought, my friends. Remember, language is a reflection of thought. Tell me how you speak, and I will tell you how you think. And I am not saying he's not advanced in his thought. Don't get me wrong. You can be simple and advanced. That is the whole Apple idea. Whole Apple is that hey, the whole artifact must be simple, but must be complex and sophisticated at the same time. So I think there's power in his simplicity. There is power in him thinking, okay, one plus one is two, and that's it. Like for him, in his mind, one plus one can never, ever, ever be three. Never. Or be zero. Never. It's two, and that's it. And there's power in that. So, how you can be more into the point, into the simplicity of things, into the heart of things, to the money of things. It's removing a little bit of the abstract and getting embodied more in the flesh of reality. Now, you don't want to be only like this. You want to sophisticate also and be able to dance in the metaphors, in the sublime. But you remember, this is just a note, man. Just download a little bit, apply it here in your software, and let's go and continue your life. So let me tell you the bonus one. So if you make it until this session of the podcast, congratulations. Now you are thinking more like Trump. Remember that I have also other guys that I have been downloading the mine. Go in the description below. You will be able to find the link of the reproduction list. And also you can visit derekisrael.com if you want to know everything that I'm doing and that I have on store. But let me tell you the bonus, man. Oh man, this is so powerful. The bonus is that you need to create your own platform in life. So he was banned from Twitter. He created his own platform. And this is so practical because if you go and think big, and then you are like a sword for your enemies and you put your name first and you love what you do and you transcend and you join business and politics in one stuff, and you speak your truth always, and you show up always, and you talk your way in and out of places, and you go to the point, to the heart, and to the money, you will get big. And to get big now in these days means that you can get the platform, as happened to him. This was so surreal. In the country of the free speech, it was surreal. But that is an example of the power of social media and how you must be prepared for that. So if you want to be more like Trump, you need to be thinking about in the future, in the immediate future, you should be able to transcend platforms if you want to go big in business and in politics. So you need to have your own platform, my friend. That is one of this secret that I just told you is worth millions of dollars. This will be the normal in 10 years. In 2030, most businesses and politicians, they will know, like political parties, they will know that they need to build platforms. Not only a website, no. But as the whole social media, they need to build the Twitter, they need to build the Facebook, they need to control the rules, because in the others, they are servant of the corporation. They are servant of Meta in the Facebook case. They are servant of Google if you're in YouTube. They are servant of Twitter, now of Musk if you are in Twitter. So notice. So you need to create your own platform if you are going big and Meta, just like Trump. Hey, this was Dr. Derek Israel. Please share this episode with all your fellows, um, for them to actualize this mindset. Leave your comments. What do you think I missed? What do you think? What other node of Trump mind I didn't mention here? Let's make a very good mind, collective mind in the comment sections, in order to have more context and more spirit in this episode. And hey, watch the whole series, man. Your life will change. And we are only beginning. This is a long term project. It will become a book, and you can find everything that I have for in store in derekisrael.com, my courses, my books, my consulting service, my coaching 101, my psychotherapy pretty soon. See you at derekisrael.com, and I see you in the next one.